Okay, it seems like we just went through that bad freeze last winter. Remember, I think we all lost trees and bushes and the like. Now it's already time to think about that again, just in case. Our 5-Minute Gardener shows us the best way to cover those plants.
Good afternoon, it's Debbie Mounce. I'm your 5-Minute Gardener. Okay, the cold is here. We need to protect some of our plants. Now this is a bougainvillea, and this is certainly one of those plants that would need some protection. Now I'm going to give you some tips about how to protect these plants. The first thing is, on the day that you know there's going to be a hard freeze, make sure and water the plants that are tender, because a plant that is well hydrated is much less vulnerable to the cold than a plant that is dry. So be sure and give them a good drink that morning. Now you can cover them. You want to cover them at night. Generally covering them is going to raise the temperature by about 3 or 4 degrees. When you cover them, though, there are a couple of tips. You don't just want to lay your covering over the plant and crush the plant. The moisture gets trapped underneath, and it can actually cause the plant to freeze to your covering. So what you want to do, if you are going to cover it, is you want to kind of tent it. So what I've got here, I've just got some simple stakes, and I'm going to just stick them in the plant. And the covering, now these are kind of tall. You can make them shorter than this, of course. This is the smallest size I had. So you want to just cover it, keeping it away from the foliage of the plant. Now this is called frost cloth, and this cloth is designed specifically for plant coverage because it still lets sunlight and air go through it, yet still provides protection to the plant. So you just put this cloth over the plant. You want to go all the way over. And you can clothespin it and clip it together, or you can, if it's in a pot, you can just tuck it underneath the plant for good coverage. Now that's a pretty easy thing to do. Now the frost cloth comes in long lengths, so you can cut it to whatever length is good for what your needs are. Now the other thing that I have for you to show you is also frost cloth, but it's a bag. Their frost cloths come in bags also. So they can be somewhat easier to use because they come with a drawstring on them. So this guy, you do the same thing. You still want to put it over your stakes. And then you bring it all the way down to the bottom of the plant. And you just pull the drawstring. And these guys they don't make your yard look so much like a ghost town. Whoops. And then you pull the drawstring at the bottom too. And that covers them beautifully, protects them beautifully. All right. So that's it. I'm going to bring something into the studio too. That's another new thing we just got this year. It'll be fun to see. All right, see you then.
And you kept your promise.
I did.
Debbie
Here
Mounce.
I am.
Harlow Gardens joining me now, and I think HOAs will be cheering that we don't have to use bed sheets anymore. Why didn't we think of this? It's great.
I know, really.
Great idea.
So this is the other thing I brought in today. It's like a little pup tent. And what it is it's just, and the cool thing about this is it's pretty easy to store. It goes totally flat. So in the summertime when you're not using it, you can put it away. Those things, of course, fold up and they'll go flat too. But this guy has the legs on it. Kind of reminds me when I was a kid and we used to go camping all the time. It just pops right up.
Beautiful.
And it'll drop right over the plant. Now it comes with stakes, just like a tent does. So you can stake it down to the ground, or you can put stones around it and hold it in place. Because in the cold, lots of times, the wind will pick up during the night and pull these covers off the plants. But these come in 4 different sizes. This is the smallest size we have. But that's an easy thing, especially for people that might be it might be more difficult for them to get it on. It's the older folks or some people that are just in a hurry. They're just, you can just drop it right on top of the plant.
What do they cost, Debbie? I know the 4 different sizes. What's the price range?
Well, this one I believe is around $10. They go up to about $25. I think the biggest one stands about yay tall, or so. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact measurements, but it's about like that. So it'll cover a good sized bush. So you could drop this over a pot or over a bush that's in the ground, whichever you need to do.
Do you not want to leave them on there once the freeze danger is over? I mean, is there a danger of killing the plant or suffocating it?
That's an excellent question, because the cool thing about the frost cloth is it still lets sunlight through the plant. So if you're going to go out of town for a week, you could leave this on for a week and not worry. After that, you should pull it off, because this plant does need sunlight to get in around the plant. But this guy's good. That's the bad thing about sheets and blankets. They don't let sunlight through. Yeah. So the plant can start to suffer over time.
All right. Well, Debbie, thanks. I think after last winter, we have you have our full attention.
Yes.
And sales will be brisk. Yeah.
Yes, I hope so.
Great little idea. Thanks
yes,
so much.
a good idea.
All right. Stay warm.
I will. Thanks, Tom.